a Gibson or a Fender. The lamest joke ever.
First a Gibson, then a Fender.
Yeah.
First a Fender.
Okay. So the new Fenders, I got the web page up over here. I actually want to pull it up because I hadn't looked at these yet. I knew the new ones came out, but I just didn't care. So the Corey Wong Strat, right? If you're not familiar with Corey Wong and Wolfpack, I highly recommend you check that band out. He's deserving of a signature instrument. But the funny part is he plays like a Mexican standard Strat or something.
So they put together a $2,000.
Yeah, it's not anything special really, but here you go. There's this guy. And then there's all these paranormal cyclone, paranormal supersonic, paranormal tornado, and these are all Squires, by the way. Paranormal offset Telecaster, paranormal carbonita, baritone carbonita Telecaster, which some people are going to eat that thing up.
Before you go too far, I just want to say this about the Corey Wong Strat. I think they had extra ultra parts and they wanted to sell because it's literally got an ultra neck. It even says American Ultra neck profile on body contours.
Yeah,
I think they had extra ultra parts and they wanted to sell them.
Or Corey Wong preferred the ultra to his Mexican standard, which is a possibility. Dude can play. Like let's just be real.
Yeah.
So anyway, Paranormal Carbonita Telecaster thin line, Jmaskus Telecaster, which is actually interesting. That's a blue sparkle, man. But he's not a guy that's like immediately identified with Telecasters for sure. So now most of these guitars have been Squires. That was a Fender. The Jmaskus was a Fender, and so was the Corey Wong. Then there's the return of the Kurt Cobain Jag Stang, and it is not a Squire this time around. It is a Fender, and it is pricey. It's $1,249. Not super pricey. I'm surprised they went this level with it, and we'll talk about that because that's one of the most sought after guitars that they've ever done, and they made a ton of them, and they go for like 4 times what they did new. Used. So of the last 20 years or 30 years, it's probably like the most desirable Squire for sure. And I would say even more so one of the most, one of the few guitars in the last 30 years that has like quadrupled in value. You'll see a lot of people buy both the left and right-handed versions just for collecting. Just for collecting. So, all right. I could give 2 shits about the Kurt Cobain the Kurt Cobain jazz thing.
Yeah, me too.
Are they doing a new Affinities series stuff? Yeah,
there's a whole new Affinity series. They've made some improvements.
Did they finally make the bridge the same as the on the Telecaster, the same as the others?
Yeah.
Instead of it's still an Affinity bridge. Yeah.
Well, no, I thought you meant did they make it where it was not a 3 thing?
No. It's been like that for a while, but the problem is that bridge doesn't have a screw hole compliant with an American bridge, so you can't throw an American bridge on there. And it's not just metric; it's literally like different dimensions. So it's kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, Affinity is Affinity is Affinity. It's still Affinity. They changed the finishes. They changed the woods. I mean, that's basically because they needed to go over to Indian Laurel instead of whatever they were using. I think they were using Jatoba or something before for the fretboard. Yeah. So, they do have two new pedals: the dual marine layer reverb and then the dual pugilist distortion. Yeah, big deal. Yep. I mean, I'm not really into their pedals. I will say this: they did come out with a Tonemaster Super Reverb, Jim.
I know. I saw that. Tonemaster Super Reverb. That's new.
What is the effing point? Once you go to 4 speakers, the damn thing's going to be so heavy anyway.
You got me by the short hairs on this one. I cannot understand. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. I mean, so the Tonemaster Super Reverb, for those who don't know, that's a 410, right?
Yeah.
That's a 410 I'm looking at it now. So it's a 410 Jensen speakers. That's still going to weigh a ton.
It's
Now,
30,
yes,
36 pounds. 36 pounds.
Yeah.
My Fillmore is still heavier than this, which tells you the cabinet quality on this is shit. That's what that tells me. Because this thing's still got
that's barely
transformers on it. There's no way. Yeah,
that's barely any more than this one has, and this one weighs 34 or 35 pounds.
Now,
That's
cabinet and kickstands. Those kickstands aren't light. They weigh about 3 pounds a piece.
Yeah.
So maybe they've chinched out on those too because the cabinet weighs less.
Super lightweight aluminum. I don't know.
I can't imagine the chassis is more of the weight than the cabinet with speakers. I can't imagine that. So I don't know what kind of technical trickery is involved here, but 36 pounds, hats off to you, Fender. I have no idea how you pulled that off. But if you crapped out on the cabinet, this is worthless. Because that's part of what makes those old Fender amps so great. Is the pine
the cabinet and the 410s. Yep.
All right, so let's talk about guitars. Paranormal Squire series. Who cares? Who cares? This is another series that will live on in somebody's mind, and in 20 years they'll be nostalgic for it. But the reality is these are not gonna sell super well. Maybe with a specific crowds like the church crowd, but these are really kiddie-ish versions of guitars that already exist. Which is why I'm looking at them and I'm like, they look very bubbly. Specifically the Paranormal Supersonic and Cyclone. They look very bubbly. They don't look... There's something about them that the headstocks are too big, or... I don't know. They don't look like the originals did to me. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I don't remember what the originals look like.
I don't know. I know that 60 Cycle Hum showed some of these, couple of these.
I actually sort of like the Paranormal Offset Telecaster.
Yeah, that one's kind of funky looking.
Yeah, and I wish it did it in more colors than this, though.
Yep.
I mean, I don't mind the shell pink, but I wish there was an orange or something.
Yep. I like the look of the blue Cabernita thin line, but I mean, I don't have a P90 guitar, so
you're just obsessed with thin line Telecasters. You've been talking about it for years.
I'll never find the one that never find the one that got away, so to speak. That's what's going to happen.
I just laugh because I'm like, I've never been a big fan of the thin lines. I'm just not. I played a bunch of them over the years. I played one that was supposedly really good when I was in college, and I was like, I just kind of rolled my eyes. I was like, okay, you keep telling yourself that's good. I'll play my Strat over here. So
tell me what the deal of this Screama Delica.
Oh, it's probably just some custom art from. Okay, so Primal Scream's 1991 breakthrough album Screamadelica featured a fresh blend of indie rock songwriting. Why have I never heard of this band before?
That's what I was just going to say. Who's that?
And why did they commemorate it with graphics from them?
Don't know.
I mean, honestly, this is as dumb as PRS doing the cover of that King Crimson album.
Oh, the King Crimson album.
And I'm a King Crimson fan. I'm like one of the biggest King Crimson fans you're going to find. And that was like, huh, that's weird. That seems weird to me.
I hate to say it, and I'm not familiar with the band. I'm not familiar with the album, so there might be people, obviously, like the screaming in the comment section of, "Oh man, you never heard of these guys? And this is the best thing since sliced bread." But it kind of looks like a box of cereal, or actually like a Tide. It looks like Tide, like a Tide Pod went off.
I know where this came from.
What?
Have you ever seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Oh yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Looks like something from that. It really does. It looks like something in the machine at the beginning.
Yep.
I'm not even going to try to say that name again because it was awful. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It like I said, it looks like a Tide Pod exploded. I don't know. I guess it's cool. It's different. It's definitely different.
I think this is better than their last launch though, where they did the Fenders with the painted headstocks that didn't really even fit the guitars.
And an upcharge because they're the Ultra Lux instead of
Yeah,
just the Ultra.
deluxe
They're the
ultra.
Ultra Lux.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't see a single one of those in person or online that I thought would look good.
there's
Not
nothing
one.
here that I'm like, oh, I'm excited. I really want to try
No.
this.
Nope.
But they're not hitting my target market.
No.
Maybe the Corey Wong Strat would be interesting. I'd like to check that out. Interesting. I'm looking to see. Oh, he's got a D neck profile on there. Yuck. Like, never mind. I forgot. Nope, not gonna happen. D necks and me do not get along. Yeah. So I think it's time for us to switch topics. We can talk about